the challenge facing this country today, as far as this issue of fuel subsidy and availability of products, because that's actually what is bringing us here this morning, is concerned, is taking on a dimension that I personally consider alarming.
The fuel crisis is not only alarming to the chairman of the Senate Committee on Petroleum, but to many Nigerians across the country. The situation has been getting worse by affecting banks, mobile telephone companies, and even schools who have had to scale down operations because of a difficulty in getting fuel. At this meeting, initiated by the Senate committees on upstream and downstream, the major stakeholders in the petroleum sector met to find solutions to this problem. But in finding solutions, they first urged their grievances.
So these are the questions that we have to ask. One, why did marketers not fulfill their promise made on national television to supply fuel after they got their last payment of 154 billion? If they don't have fuel to supply, why is the black market so full of fuel? Selling at very exorbitant prices. Three, as I said before, if they didn't go shut down the whole country when they were being owed 1.3 trillion, why are they shutting the country down when they say they are owed 200 billion, of which 159 is on verified claims?
At the peak of the challenges we have, challenges when banks refuse to extend their lines of credit to us. And I want to say it openly here that we did not get that assistance from the banks. In other words, there was no way we could import. We are owing them, and they said we should pay back.
A visibly disgruntled Minister of Finance further had this to say about the situation.
There is a deliberate attempt to sabotage this economy and bring it to a halt and a standstill. I know I'm saying very strong words, but Nigerians have to know the truth. Because some of the things that happen in this country are inexplicable.
However, after the back and forth between the finance minister and representatives of the oil workers and marketers, they finally reached an agreement.
First is that the Minister of Finance will give an undertaking to the major marketers and DAPMAN that the work of that committee being headed by the CBN will be concluded. If it is concluded, PPPRA, yes, and CBN will be concluded in verifying the outstanding claims. If it is concluded before the end of the life of it as this administration, it will be reflected in the handover notes. If it is not concluded before the end of the life of this administration, then the fact that such a committee is set up and working will be reflected in the handover notes, and a copy of the letter conveying the existence of this committee will be sent to MOMAN and DAPMAN, and also a copy will be sent to us in this committee. So on the basis of that agreement, MOMAN will offer whatever cooperation that is needed to enable lifting of products nationwide to begin within the next 6 hours. We have also agreed with DPRO that any depot that has products and fails to begin lifting within the next 6 hours should have their license revoked immediately.
The agreement reached by government, the petroleum marketers, and other stakeholders in the sector came as a relief to Nigerians who have had to contend with rising cost of transportation, epileptic power supply, and long queues to buy fuel. But the fuel crisis is a multi-dimensional problem, and one which would simply not go away despite the agreements reached. Linda Akibe, Channels Television News.